to stage, Lorcan McGrane! Hello there. It's great to be here, but I know what you're thinking. Harry Potter's let himself go. I know what you're thinking. Peter Parker's let himself go. I know what you're thinking. Richard Kiel, the cult actor who played the James Bond villain Jaws, firstly in The Spy Who Loved Me in 1977, and again in Moonraker in 1979, has let himself go and been inexplicably resurrected for the purposes of this joke, and dropped in height by 1.5 foot and lost his metal teeth. I know what you're thinking. A popular culture character that I think that you think I look vaguely like, but not really. It's all for the purposes of hackneyed joke construction. Has let himself go. Don't worry, it's the last one. I know what you're thinking. Actually, no, I don't. For as much as we try to connect to each other through meaningless sex, here's hoping, and social networking sites, we are all truly alone, trapped forever and ever in our own subjective universes until the day we die. Good evening, Belfast! Good evening, Belly Laughs Festival, Hobgoblin Comedy. Bring it on! Bring it on again! Bring it on, in it to win it. Bring it on, nothing to lose. Bring it on, fight to the finish. Another direct-to-DVD sequel to the hit teen interracial cheerleading comedy. Bring it on! Which I shouldn't know about, but I do because I read about them on the internet and I look at them longingly in DVD shops if any are still open. I don't know if you like to look at box sets. I like to look at box sets. I can't afford them. I just look at the back and imagine what wonders happen within. It's whenever you do buy a DVD in the DVD shops, if any are still open, they always ask you that question, have you found everything that you're looking for? And I think, well, money, success, a career, the odd ride, and some of them have been very odd. But no, this £3 copy of Donnie Darko with no special features will have to do in the meantime then, won't it? I'm originally from Monaghan. In fact, I'm still from there. And being from rural Ireland, it's great to come up to the big smoke and see things like electricity and workable broadband and women that aren't related to me. As far as I know. As far as I know. I'm from a very small village called Rockcurry, and it's not really on any maps or that. And even sat-nav really doesn't work there because sat-nav doesn't have directions like turn left at the farm where your man shot himself. Turn right at the site that's worth a ball of money. And just drive straight past that place, you know, where your man, where the thing happened. He got out and all. Technicality, they say. It's quite strange. It's still socially acceptable in rural Ireland, where I'm from, for old fellas, when you're out shopping, to look in your trolley. And no matter how mundane the contents, always go, are you having a party, are you? Yes, I'm having one of those Spuds and Brillo pad parties. You read about them in Heat magazine. Yeah, it's getting a lot more sophisticated though now. Only recently I saw some kids doing parkour on top of a library, but in retrospect, I think they were just trying to break into a place. I shouldn't really mention parkour. I hate people who introduce foreign phrases like that in a vain attempt to seem intellectual, and I say that to you tonight, Belfast, apropos of nothing. Really, it's my bête noire, but c'est la vie. I always like to point out at this stage of the gig, I'm not actually a priest. There are similarities, of course. Priests dress in black. I like to dress in black. Priests are celibate. I'm celibate, although not by choice. And we both like to read large books filled with fictional characters. So it's kind of weird when you're kind of deconstructing religion. It's a bit like shooting fish in a barrel. And especially if Jesus is there, there's more and more fish. It gets easier. But I'm not that much into religion. I'm more into horror. I like horror books. I'm reading this horror book at the minute. It's about a lonely geek in rural Ireland who lives with his female relatives, and every day he writes down what he hopes to achieve, and every day he kind of fails miserably. It's a horror book called Diary 2014. I think there's a sequel out next year. I'm too scared to read it. But I really like the work of Stephen King. I really like him because he used to drink a lot, and I like to drink a lot. He once drank so much, he has no memory of writing Cujo. I've no memory of writing Cujo. So we've got a lot in common. I'm into a lot of cool things like comics and science fiction and academic film studies. It's sort of like a Venn diagram of never having sex ever again. People say that they have, that they've got droughts in their love life. I've got ice ages. By the time I have sex again, people's genitals will have evolved into something different. It'll be like trying to put a SCART lead into a HDMI socket. I'm not comparing my penis to a SCART lead. It's not long and black. It's just an obsolete format that falls out at inopportune moments. It's kind of weird, but like my clothes have been found on the floors of many beautiful women. I'm still in them, of course, because I'm a special friend and she loves me like a brother. I'm also very comfortable in my masculinity. I just haven't found anyone yet who's comfortable with their masculinity, my masculinity in them. It's quite weird being lonely and stuff. I have to, I suppose, look on the bright side. I'm a very glass half full kind of person. Unfortunately, it's half full of the ground up bits of other glass. I think it was Heather Small from M People who said, you've got to search for the hero inside yourself. Unless it's a miniature hero, then just leave it a few days, it'll come out of its own accord, so that's good. You have to be positive though, for me every day is like a rebirth, in that I awake screaming, covered in blood and shit with a cord around my neck. It's a bit weird. I'm trying to get a bit more positive and stuff. I've been to a personal trainer and he says you should always eat a fist size of food portion, but I think he's talking about muesli and stuff and not cheese. But I'm also going to do like an Ironman challenge. That's where I try and drink as much as Tony Stark and I surround myself with technology. I've got my tech setup is a terabyte drive and a PC and a tablet. I call my tech setup the human centipede because it involves 3 entities connected and it's also uncomfortably crammed with filth. So I'm job seeking at the minute. I don't know if anyone's job seeking. It's weird when you're job hunting and you go to interview, they ask you that questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And I always answer, lying in my own filth, crying and masturbating. So I don't normally get the job. They also ask you questions like, did you get here all right? And I think, well, apart from that self-destructive period in my 20s, yes. I think the problem might be my CV, because it's a very professional CV. As you see. I've also figured out that not safe for work isn't the best title for a CV. I've got a bit about me here. It says, Lorcan McGrane lives in Monaghan with his action figures and She-Hulk comic collection in wiped clean bags. He's the editor of the Batcave Gazette, the in-house newspaper of his bedroom. That's for a largely action figure-based readership. Gender is a social construct that is fluid despite the attempts of patriarchy to reduce it to a physical essentialism through binary oppositions. Sex at infrequent intervals since 1993. I've got my experience section here. I have had many experiences. Some of them have been good. I have 29 plus years experience of dressing myself, properly standing on the floor, and not standing on a chair being helped at breakfast time or anything. Experience number 3, I kissed a girl and I liked it. Her, not so much. Skills, I can breathe both in and out. That's what it's going to have. And my second skill is, I can imagine couples at it. Like when people go, I know they're together, but I can't imagine them at it. I can. And I can bring a crudely drawn diagram to interview. Hobbies and interests, masturbation and pornography, although I don't know which is the hobby and which is the interest. I don't know where to put it on my thing. That's my CV, that's why I don't have any jobs. I suppose I'll end with a joke. What did the nihilist Borg say? Existence is futile. It's quite sad, I had a club foot as a child, but the sandwiches are much nicer. I feel a bit ill recently because I had a little box of Roundtree's Randoms, And in my box of Around Choose Random, there was a Lego brick and a mouse's head and the concept of non-linear time. So, I mean, a bit too random for me. As I think I've shown, I'm a lonely geek and I have to buy myself greeting cards, and I bought one for myself the other day. It was great. It had a picture of Spider-Man on the front, and the back it just had a label that said blank inside. And it's very rare I find that a card really expresses your metaphysical angst like that. I'm 38, and if I was alive during the Neolithic period, I'd be dead by now. But I would have fucked and killed a lot more people. So that would have been awesome, and you've been awesome, and I've been Lorcan McGrane. Thank you.